spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition. This is ABC's Wide World of Sports.
This is Jim McKay. From the green fields of England to the Arizona desert, we'll take you today with another stop in a quiet billiard room in New York. You'll see the dangerous drama of the world's most famous steeplechase race, the Grand National. A tense battle for the American National Driving Championship in the final race of the U.S. Auto Club year, and the most famous of all living billiard players, Willie Mosconi. First, we return, as we have many times during the past 16 years, to the lush turf of Aintree and our commentator, Bill Fleming. One of the wonder horses of all time, three-time winner of a race many horses are never able even to finish. It'll be a long time before another like him appears at Aintree. Now from England to Arizona, Johnny Rutherford and Gordon Johncock locked in a battle for the U.S. Auto Club National Championship. This, the final race of the year. Rutherford leading by 220 points. The winner here, as you see, gets 300 points and so on down the line. Consider then the possibilities. If Johncock wins the race and gets 300 points, as you see, then Rutherford, by finishing 7th, can still take the title. Suppose, however, Johncock finishes 2nd in the race. Well, Rutherford can finish 11th and still win. If, however, Johncock finishes 3rd or worse, he has no chance at all for the national championship. Our commentators on the scene, again, Bill Fleming, and with him, Chris Economaki.
The blue car in number 3 is Bobby Unser. Then right behind him in the red car is Gordon Johncock. And Johncock is going to challenge for the lead. And he is going to take the lead on the backstretch as Gordon Johncock moves into the number 1 spot. Bigelow is now 3rd, and Johnny Rutherford in car number 2 is 4th. You know, Chris, it doesn't seem to be too slippery out there.
No, I think they brushed the sand off the groove. The track was bought by Dr. Tom Tabor and some fellow doctors from Phoenix, and they promised a new surface when we come back here next year.
All right, Gordon Johncock, for the first time today in car number 20, has the lead, and he is streaking. And before the race got underway, the question was put to Gordo, is the pressure on his back today, or perhaps would it be on Johnny Rutherford, even though Rutherford has the point lead?
Well, I really am not that nervous, Chris. You know, I think the strain is pretty much on Rutherford and crew. You know, they're 220 points ahead of me, you know, and know they have to finish the race, you know, unless I fall out myself. And I think their nervousness kind of showed up a little bit yesterday. They had a few problems on the racetrack. Seemed like they had a few problems getting the car handling and also a few problems qualifying. So, you know, I think it kind of shows up on their team, and our team all seems to be relaxed, you know. We're going to go out and do our best. If we can win, fine. If we can't, there's always next year.
What he was referring to, Bill, was the fact that Johnny Rutherford spun during practice yesterday, which is a rare happening for this fellow.
All right, let's give a quick rundown now of all the cars as we have Johncock in. Oh, we can't do it now because there's a car against the wall. It's Lloyd Ruby. And the yellow caution flag is out somehow between 1 and 2, and I didn't see it, Chris. Maybe you did a little more clearly. He just shot right across the track into the barrier. He's okay, but it is going to bring out the caution light as Lloyd Ruby.
Okay, here they come down. That's Rutherford going into the turn. Now, you can see the smoke from Ruby's tires. This car is an American Motors V8 car, stock block, the only one in the race. It was the 5th fastest qualifier, and I have to believe that something went wrong with the car.
Well, now we have Johncock slowing down, and it looks like he is going to pit. So that at least is going to move Rutherford up a little bit. The critical number for him, if Johncock wins the race, is he has to finish 7th or better to win the National Driving Crown. So we really still have 2 races going here today. The winner of the 150, of course, will take home a pretty good-sized purse, but also the National Driving Championship at stake. And there's Mario Andretti going up on the jacks. Mario currently running in 3rd place, and Johncock is out very quickly.
And Al Unser takes the lead, Bill, and this is surprising because he's driving his backup car. He blew the engine on his regular car yesterday. He started in 10th place, and here he is out front. His car, a Cosworth engine Parnelli, and there it is. His new V8 engine from England, as used in Formula One, is said by many to be the engine of the future in USAC National Championship racing.
So Al Unser, who was the 1970 USAC driving champion, is in the lead as he goes by. And Gordon Johncock is second, and Rutherford has now moved up into seventh, and he's starting to smoke. He's starting to smoke down the main straightaway, Chris, and it looks like trouble.
Oh, that's engine trouble of one sort or another. We wonder if it's an oil leak, he can keep going, but if it's more than that, he's in trouble and he's slowing down. This is trouble, and this could cost Johnny Rutherford the national championship. He's been in the lead in the points all year long.
Everybody standing here anxiously looking at the car, and here he comes, and it looks like it's going to be all over for Johnny Rutherford this afternoon. Now, that doesn't give Johncock the title. He's still, look at him, hammer the wheel. He knows he's finished. Johncock still has to finish second or better. So it puts a little bit of pressure on him, but for Johnny Rutherford, well, what can you say? You don't have to say anything, just look. I don't think I've ever seen him as upset as he is right now. The National Driving Championship, a dream that he's always wanted. Chris, I know that you can't possibly get a word with him there. I know he doesn't want to talk to anybody until things cool down a bit. I think he is smoking through his ears just about as badly as his engine was through the exhaust pipe. The green flag is out now. The yellow had come out because of the oil spilled on the track by Rutherford's car. And so they are racing once again, and Johncock is staying right in there and running very hard, although I must say this, as we watch him run, he has to feel a great deal of pressure on his shoulder.
Not only that, he's got to wonder about the car, because no one knows what a car will or won't do, as Johnny Rutherford can attest.
The thing that's strange about a broken oil line, it's one of those things you can't prevent from happening.
That's it. You can put a new one on before the race, and a new one can break, and the other one on the other side of the engine can be 5 years old and last the distance.
So Al Unser, who has the lead, is hanging on to it. He's got about 15.5 seconds on Gordon Johncock. And Johncock has about 7.5 seconds on Mario Andretti. You can bet that Johnny Rutherford and all of his followers have never rooted harder for Mario Andretti in their lives.
That's correct. Unser's car is interesting. This is a developmental year for this car. It's a new design chassis. It's very small.
And the white flag is out for Al Unser. One more lap to go. And now Gordon Johncock will also get the white flag, which means that I guess he could just about coast in around this mile circuit and win the National Driving Championship. Half a lap to go for Al Unser. Very popular driver from Albuquerque, New Mexico. And he's coming into turn 3 here. Now is Gordon Johncock really slowing down on that backstretch. He doesn't want to take any chances. And the checkered flag is out for Al Unser. He wins the Arizona 150. And coming around is Gordon Johncock, and he's got the checkered flag. And so, Johnny Rutherford, I guess if we had a shot of him right now, would just be burying his head in his hands because he has lost the championship, but there is joy and jubilation for Gordon Johncock's crew, everybody running down here to the start-finish line, and we're going to try to get a word with Johnny Rutherford, who, of course, is heartbroken at this point, but right now all eyes are on two drivers, Al Unser and Gordon Johncock. Chris?
Here is the man who raced all season long in hopes of changing the number 2 on his car to a number 1, but it was not to be. Johnny, the concept of wide world of sports is the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, and I don't think anyone ever emphasized the agony of defeat as you did when you stepped from your car. What were your feelings of, were there frustration, madness, bitterness, what?
All of those, Chris. It was just a total shot. You know, I think it's the most bitter disappointment I have ever experienced. The thing to have it come down to this, and to know that all we've got to do is stay out there and finish the race, and we will put it all together and be the number 1, and then to have it all just swept away by something breaking on the car. It is really bitter disappointment.
It's something that it was mechanical, and you can't look in the mirror and say it's my fault. It must be that much more frustrating because of that facet.
Well, it is, and the guys, I know the team McLaren, Tyler Alexander, and all the guys with the team worked very hard preparing for this race, everything was new on the car, and it's just one of those things that happened. We had an oil line break, and dumped all the oil out of the thing, and it seized as I was coming in the pits, and I had to just barely got it out of gear, and before it locked up and you know, started sliding the car. It was really something.
Johnny, you got out of the car, you walked away, you didn't say a word to anyone, and you disappeared. Who was the first person you spoke to, and what did you say?
Well, Betty, my wife, came out to do what she could do, and you know, there's nothing anybody can do, really, any condolences or anything, but I remember the first thing I said to her was the good Lord must not have wanted us to have this championship, I guess. So evidently he didn't, and we didn't win it. We'll go get our act together, I guess, like we do every year, and say we'll be back next year, but the only consolation is we've got a bunch of number 2s in the box that we can stick on the car next year, so we'll be number 2 again, I guess.
Well, Johnny, you're number 1 in a lot of people's eyes, and we'll be around next year to watch you, too.
Thank you, Chris.
It's a frustrating game, motor racing, a sport where no man is any better than the machine.